So, Esther finally arrived back at her apartment with all of her girlfriends, her sister, and her new friends, the twins. They unloaded, grabbed their luggage from the twins that they had brought along, and as they all walked up to the apartment door, Day led them forward to the door. Esther stood behind, and she spoke to the limousine driver and asked him if he could forget the little issue earlier that night of the three brothers, or the three young men that had tied him up. She told him she thought that they were at a turning point in their life where they were going to change for the better. And the limousine driver said he had no problem with forgetting that issue, and that Mr. Wilson had asked him to simply stay with Esther and her friends and to be available for him. So he smiled at Esther and said, "And that's exactly what I planned on doing." So Esther thanked him very much, gave him an envelope with some money in it, and told him that she really appreciated everything he had done for him that night. Gave him a kiss on the cheek, told him to have a great night, and thanked him again. And then she caught up with everybody at the front door of the apartment. So they all walked down the hallway, which is only several apartments down, and Esther opened the apartment door, looked in before everybody else, checked it out. Everything looked to be orderly, no problems. So then she stood aside and invited everybody in. All the girls went in quickly, made themselves at home. Danielle, Elizabeth, and Tracy Ann walked in. Tracy Ann went straight to the kitchen and was extremely impressed with all the fine appliances and the quality of the cabinetry and everything being organized in such a perfect position. And Esther, seeing this, quickly joined Tracy, and Tracy turned to Esther and said, "This is exactly what I would love someday when we stop moving around, to have a wonderful kitchen like this." She said, "I really enjoy cooking, but I don't have that opportunity very often. And I would love to have a wonderful kitchen like this." She says, "You are so lucky." And then Tracy said, "And I can tell that you know that you're very lucky to have such a wonderful kitchen." And Esther was just beaming, and she was happy to see someone that could share in the appreciation of her kitchen. So then Danielle, Elizabeth, she came down the hallway and said to her sister, "Tracy, you really need to see this bed." So Esther had told them that they could sleep in her bed and that it was something special. So they went down to Esther's bedroom, and the two of them stood there looking at the bed and were in much amazement. The headboard had a huge amount of a carved pictures on it of a battle, and it looked very old. Esther came down, was right behind him, and said the bed was a gift from her cousin, who had had it in their family for several hundred years, and that she was very proud of it. And again, she repeated the fact that people that sleep together in the bed often will share dreams together, and that they just might experience that tonight. And so then the other girls were all running around and having fun, and Esther said, well, let's all go to the middle room and would talk. So they all went into the third bedroom, the one in the middle, and Esther sat on the floor, and everybody sat on the floor. Day came in last. She closed the door, and they all sat down in a large circle. And Esther said, let's share a little bit about ourselves, just something that we'd like to tell everybody, one little thing about ourselves. And so that was done. And after everybody had done that, Esther said, I believe that what we share with each other will live on. We'll never see darkness. It'll be in our hearts forever. And so at that point, Esther said, let's sleep. She said, I've got special beds we can pull out for the rest of us, and Danielle and Tracy can enjoy the large Fuji bed. And so she pulled out some inflatable mattresses. They had come with compressed air, and so they inflated real quickly, and then Esther had quite a few large blankets. So she made everybody comfortable. Most of the girls were extremely tired. It had been a long night, a lot of excitement. And Esther said, I'll join everybody in a while after I do my exercises. So Esther went to the front living room, and she was about to start her kata when she thought, let's see, let me think. She's going to do her kata, and her sister, Day, wanted to watch her. But she was so tired, Day said that perhaps she'll do it another night. And so Esther was in the living room doing her kata. She had already bowed to her instructor, whose photo was in the other room. And at a pretty blinding speed, she ran through the kata for an hour, wrapped it up, bowing towards her master, and then took her shower and joined the other girls for sleep. Esther woke up before everybody else. It was maybe 4 hours, and started preparing breakfast. She was very excited about this. There were going to be 10 girls. And, but you know, she had 10 place settings. So, she's preparing scrambled eggs, hash browns, sausage, and of course buttered toast, and I believe she had some homemade biscuits on the side that were smaller than the usual ones, but very fresh and very soft, very delicious. The aroma filled the house. And Brandy eventually came out, smelling the aromas. All the girls started waking up and joined everybody. Eventually, Danielle, Elizabeth, and Tracy Ann, they came out, and Brandy met them. And after the introductions, as usual, and Brandy gave each one a hug and said that Esther has a way of finding really special people, and that she knew that they were going to be a big part of their lives from now on. So they all had a wonderful breakfast. This was Sunday. They were all going to enjoy a slow breakfast and a lot of conversation.